Well, when you say that you were interested in conflict, one of the conflicts is between the reporters and editors, and anybody in journalism knows that that is a perennial conflict. So I love the way you showed this in the book. And could you describe some of these relationships and why you chose to write them that way? Like there was the one who was accused of, looking too much at the big picture. He was the anthropologist. He didn't want to get in and ask the dumb questions. The other guy was praised for asking the dumb questions, but kind of didn't know anything else. And it touched close to home to me, or anybody who has been a journalist.
Yeah, well, you have this in journalism, at least when you and I were young journalists working, there was a lot of ambition that people had to move up. They always want to move up. And there's competition among them in the newsroom because you want your star to shine brighter so that you can get from El Paso to Dallas to LA, LA to New York to London, or whatever it is. You want to keep on climbing. And there's this horrible anxiety that you feel as you turn 30. I turned 30 in El Paso, and holy shit, I am 30 years old and I'm in a second tier news market in Texas. And so you feel this, you feel this competition. And in Donkey Show, you have this guy, Harley, he's really gifted with languages. He can do voices, he can do great impersonations, which come into the plot. And he's kind of proud of all of his abilities, but he's lazy. Mm-hmm. But he's still ambitious. And then you have this other guy, Duchamp, I changed his name, Klinger, who doesn't know anything, but he isn't afraid to ask dumb questions. And that's the one thing in journalism that holds a lot of us back, including me, was a reluctance to look stupid. And you have to be ready to look stupid because you have to ask dumb questions. Because a lot of times you don't ask dumb questions, and there's a big hole in the middle of the story because it's something you don't understand. And so Klinger is not afraid to ask dumb questions. He's not afraid to make people feel uncomfortable. And so he is headed for success, while this more intelligent guy doesn't like him at all and feels intense competitiveness. Just one more thing about this tension you feel in journalists. When you're in a foreign place, or in a place like El Paso, and you want to climb up, and you hear that somebody's coming from the Washington Post to the New York Times, and they want to have lunch with you, this is like, I'm going to impress this person with everything I know, and this person is going to get me a job as a stringer, and then I'm going to use that string, those Washington Post or New York Times clips, to get it to move up. And so these people come to a market like that. Jackson Deal from the Washington Post took me out to dinner when I was in Venezuela and just hit me up for all my sources, and I gave them just eagerly so that I might get a string with the Washington Post. And Peter Applebaum from the New York Times was the Houston bureau chief, and he came to El Paso, and I gave him all of my sources, hoping to get a leg into the New York Times. So this fits into the story too.
And did you succeed?
No, I didn't get either of those strings. I ended up getting a Wall Street Journal string in Caracas that Jose de Cordova, who is a classmate of ours from Colombia and is still a Wall Street Journal reporter. He gave me his string when he went on vacation. So I got some journal clips. That helped.
Well, when you talk about being willing to feel stupid, look stupid, I always thought that helped with learning foreign languages too, because you're going to sound stupid when you're learning a language. And if you can't get over that, you're never going to be good in a foreign language.
That's right.
But all the children in Russia made fun of me at the beginning.